never know what it will be. The thing that changes you forever. The danger no one else sees. Lurking in the shadows. Waiting for its prey.
Shaw took control. There's nothing here.
We have learned. We've prepared. And we won't let it happen again. A reckoning is coming.
Hello everyone, welcome to Talking Trailers, where we give our thoughts on some of the newest and hottest video game trailers on the internet. My name is Jason Winter, and this week I'm once again joined by Eki-san. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here again. Thanks for having me, Jason.
Yeah, good to have you back. Glad you're feeling better. We wanted him on a few weeks ago, and he was sick, and...
You mean you don't want it, like all the congestion and all the fluids coming out of my face? That's not a fun thing?
I was pretty bad for a couple weeks there. I had to, like, between takes, I'm like, drink. So, you know, you guys don't see that. Magic of editing, you guys don't see that on screen. But I was struggling for a little while myself. But glad you're feeling better. Glad you're back here. And glad you're watching too, whoever you are. All right, so we came in with a trailer for Hunter the Reckoning Deathwish. Which, first of all, I should say the theme of this week is... game's not coming out for a while, so get hyped, but not too hyped. Get a slow burn on the hype for the games you're going to see this week, because a lot of them are not going to be around for a while. This one, I think, is the latest of all of them. It says launch Q3 2027, so you got a while. You might have to be undead and live an extra while just to live long enough to play this, but, you know, I got a thought. I got a sum-up thought I'll get to at the end of this. After you've done your thing, too, I just want to hear what you have to say, too. This does look cool. This does look cool. Even though we didn't see any real gameplay, I really liked how they set up the story. You see that cop starting off, and you think he's the good guy, and then you find out not really. The other hunters are the good guys. Which, if you're not familiar with the World of Darkness, of course, that's where you get Vampire the Masquerade. And they have other universes in that, too. Where they have werewolves and mages, and, of course, with all these monsters running around, they also have hunters. That was another one of their role-playing games, Hunter the Reckoning.
Yep.
So,
so...
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a really cool. You know what I thought of, Jason, right away when I was watching this?
See, I want to see if you had the same thought I did.
I thought of the show Supernatural.
Okay,
did that come to you?
No, it wasn't.
No.
Okay, but
what was in your mind?
Well, go ahead. I want you to go through all of yours first.
Sure. Yeah. So that's what I felt like when I was watching this, and then. You know, not exactly like you're Sam and Dean Winchester, but like you're one of the hunters in the world. And apparently that's what the director said that this is close to. So people that like that show might enjoy this game too. And I was also disappointed like you that there wasn't that much gameplay. But it looks like there's some cool first-person action stuff. I think what really gripped me were the mysteries and these creatures. Like, what's the story of this police officer? You know, you got that twist there. Now you want to know, is there more to this? Is this just a solo guy, or is there like a whole group of beings behind this? So I'm curious to unpack all this stuff.
I mean, they said in the Steam page, it says something like, you know, uncover all the mysteries of everything that's out there and not just whatever. So I think there's going to be a lot more than just him. Well, maybe he's part of the conspiracy, the tip of the iceberg or something like that.
Yeah.
What I like about it, too, is, again, we're just speculating here because it's like a year and a half before it comes out, but kind of based on that, it almost looks like it could have like the one thing I was thinking of, like maybe almost like a like Hitman. Like you have to go after these targets, like in a sort of like individual sense. Like here's the vampire here, here's the werewolf over here. Maybe it'll be kind of like that. It seems like they talk a lot about like tracking your prey and gathering intel and stealth and all that. So it feels kind of like that sort of thing. Since they're gonna have a lot of weighty decisions as the choices matter tag or whatever, so a lot of interesting chances for roleplay and so on. But my overarching thought that I came up with when I was watching this was like, is this going to be the Bloodlines 2 we didn't get? Because that's what it feels. Because it's set in the same universe and it looks like it's going to have that kind of feel and everything. Even though the difference between being a vampire and being a hunter, this feels to me like if you were looking forward to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 for a long time, like a lot of people were, including myself, maybe this is the kind of game that gives you that same sort of feel and that same sort of vibe, considering how Bloodlines 2 actually turned out. So that's the hope. Again, we got a while to hope, so spring's eternal.
Yep, there you go. I heard mentions of Bloodlines in the same paragraph as this game, so it does seem like they're going for that same vibe. So I think you're onto something there.
We can only hope. Only hope. All right, so from that, we're going to go to another game. Surprisingly, we're talking about games here. So this one is called Minimo, and it's got an interesting little interesting theme to it. Let's take a look. So that was the trailer for Minimo, which, I'm going to say right off the top, I suck at Battle Royale games. I'm not much better at survival games. So seeing this is almost like a PvE Battle Royale, basically, which I love the idea of. I love not having to go out there and be that guy who gets the gun. And if usually I play like a survival game or something like that. By the time when I'm rubbing two sticks together to finally make a fire, someone else has like a machine gun and rocket launcher and they're blowing me away. So yeah. I like the notion of being cooperative rather than having to be as competitive. I think it says there's like teams in there as well, so that may be some scoring or whatever. So a little bit of competition, but not so much in the I feel bad that I last 10 seconds after I jump off the plane or whatever kind of feel. It says it's going to be 200 players per round. It only lasts 30 minutes, so it's a nice, about Battle Royale size, of it. So gathering, crafting, fishing, combat, all that sort of stuff. I like the idea. I really do. I think it's an innovative way to take that kind of world. So, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just to be honest here, of all the trailers we watched, honestly, this is the one that jumped out to me.
Okay.
As you know, I'm more of a co-op person, and like you, I'm the person dying 10 seconds after, the Battle Royale. So I want to, have more gameplay. I want to be cooperative. And this kind of hits a niche that I don't think really exists yet. It's massive multiplayer co-op. It's like going to a big party. You can go by yourself, or you can bring a couple friends. You could be chatting on Discord. And the systems look really interesting. I thought the voting for upgrades was cool. They're just these little things thrown in here and there that make it, yeah, different. Even though, it's a massive online part, it takes advantage of that with like voting, but then you have the chat functionality. So you can run around with different people. You can pick your role. I think there's a lot to this.
I was actually looking through my Twitter account, looking at old tweets I made back in like 2018, and one of them I said was, "Wouldn't it be great if we had a battle royale, but it was kind of a PvE kind of thing?" And this comes out, and I think I might have said survival as well. And then because a few weeks ago we also had The Legend of California we showed off on this show, which was again in that same kind of vein, being a survival game but mostly PvE. So this could be a good year for me in terms of me predicting what was supposed to come out. These genius ideas. I expect my cut, of course, naturally, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You were onto something for sure.
I was onto something 8 years ago, and these devs just stole my ideas. Damn it! All right. But
so now you got to look at what you were onto 6 years ago and get some.
There we go. Yeah. See, I got to look back and see what I said then. Yeah. So this one also has a TBA launch, so who knows when it's going to come out. Yeah. But we actually next have a game that's coming out very soon. In fact, coming out next week. Let's take a look at Grime II. Okay, so that was Grime II, which I was looking at. I was looking at a bunch of different trailers throughout the week, and saw some others like side-scrolling Metroidvania game, and I was like, okay, that looks kind of neat. You're going around, you're doing stuff, so on, but it seems, maybe I'll put it in anyway just to have that kind of game. And then I found this one, and I was like, wow, this looks like 800 times better. Not only the graphics looking nice, there's a very cool, very gothic, dark look to it, but just the movement and the powers, the notion of absorbing powers and using them against the enemies and so on. This just seems so much better. It seems so good. In fact, I actually downloaded the demo and played around with that for about half an hour today. And I sucked. I'm normally not so bad at these kind of games, but there's a lot that it throws at you right away. Because, like I said, you have the powers that you can absorb, like you got that from the demo. There's like a reflection kind of thing. You're supposed to deflect attacks, so you got to get the timing just right on that as well. If you do, it's really satisfying. It's just got a great feel to it. And I think for more skilled players than me, I think they're going to really enjoy it. All the different options, all the different movement and so on you get to do. So I don't know. How does that vibe with you?
Yeah, I think what you're saying here is if the execution is really good, like the environment looks great, the moves feel great, like the power-ups and the abilities and everything, if the layout of the levels is well done and it's satisfying to like build up that experience and feel yourself getting better, if those things are all done really well, I think it can set this apart. What kind of gets me with these kind of games is that I feel like these Metroidvania games are kind of saturated, or these like side-scroller types of games. So when I see it, the environments look cool in this, which is eye-catching. And if everything else is well done, that's going to set it apart. But I kind of worry that this is going to fall into the middle of the pack, and then I'll end up just skipping it in the end.
Well, the first Grime game was very well reviewed. I saw it on Steam. It was like 90% or something like that. So
Nice.
that came out in 2021. And this one comes out, actually, like I said, next week. March 31st is a release date for it. So
Great.
Don't have long to wait. So yeah, pull out your controller and get to it. Get grimy. That should be their logo, their slogan. Get grimy.
Yeah, it should be. I like it.
All right. So speaking of not very serious ideas, we've got our next game is a very serious game. So serious has got it in the title. It's Serious Sam Shatterverse.
Oh, man. Looks like we're late for this one, too.
We have to stop getting snacks on the way.
Your little naps aren't helping either.
I get puffy when I don't. But that's beside the point. Let's blast our way out of here before we're cratered next.
Time to get serious.
Teleport first. Think never.
Lava golems? If only I had a garden hose.
Brace yourselves. I'm about to solve everything violently.
Look at that! Another end of the world situation.
All right, that was Serious Sam Shatterverse. Say that 5 times fast. It is a co-op roguelite FPS for 1 to 5 players. That's how they describe it on their page. And it's obviously kind of an homage, it seems, to the various Serious Sams throughout the ages. Because that series started in 2001, actually. It's been around 25 years now. Been that long. And I have to admit, it's a series I've never really gotten into. So I have to kind of rely on what other people are saying more for their experience and how hyped they are for it. And I gotta say, if YouTube comments were Steam reviews, this one would be solidly mixed, because there's some like saying, yeah, Serious Sam, all right. And then others were like cautiously optimistic, close enough to what we wanted. And the one guy who says, this has the potential to be either completely amazing or an utterly soulless, bland cash grab. So, well, if I were a longtime fan, I mean, I've been a fan of various franchises throughout the years and seen various things done to them, like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. We just talked about that earlier. So if I saw something like this and I was unsure of how it was going to play based on how they seem like they're farming nostalgia in a lot of ways, all the different kind of Sams you can play as, I would be the same way. I'd be a little worried if it's not going to be, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say soulless, bland cash grab, but I'd be worried that it's not going to match the quality of what we're used to in the past. So I don't know. How's your feeling about all this?
Yeah, I think I'm like you in a lot of ways when it comes to this franchise. Like Serious Sam, I can't believe it's 25 years ago, but it feels like those games have always been around, and I think I've dipped into 1 or 2 of them and messed around, and they were fun. They were good shooters. I didn't finish them, so I wouldn't have the nostalgia factor. So here I'd be really relying on, is this a good game? It looks like it's kind of a zany, got personality kind of shooter.
Very serious. Very serious.
Yeah, it's very serious. Sorry, I mean it's very serious. But I like the art style was interesting to me. That jumped out in that you have like environments, but then the character models are with that different style. And yeah, if you're familiar with the franchise, maybe it's going to be really cool to see your characters coming from different games, and maybe the different weapons will show up and they'll be familiar too. I don't know. Yeah, it's a co-op game, like you were saying. Mm-hmm. So maybe that brings a different element, but yeah, just have to see how it plays out. I feel like it could go either way as well.
Yeah, calling it a co-op roguelite also seems a little odd to me, I guess. I don't know how. I guess you keep weapons over from various levels or whatever. But again, this one is also, it has no release date other than coming soon. Actually, did it have anything in the 2026? That's all they have on it. So probably holiday season would be my guess.
Yeah.
perfect for the holidays. Fragging everything.
Fragging everything.
That's the spirit. Yep. All right. So that is it for Serious Sam. Let us move on to the final game we'll be talking about today, The Expanse Osiris Reborn.
It was like another life. Everything made sense to you.
Oh, you're back already? Wait, so you flew in on that?
Now, every voice, a tight beam.
Protegen will easily turn this into a massacre if they want.
We need him alive!
Locked on to you, like a torpedo.
Do not interfere.
The universe never tells us if we did right or wrong.
Series belongs to Belters. I didn't become a mercenary to run away from my enemies.
Fear festering into hatred. Typical.
Surely a little gun doesn't scare you.
A Trojan horse. Protegen let its own enemies in.
An enemy of my enemy is my friend?
We have to find our own answer.
All right, so speaking of games that are kind of like games that we think we wanted a while back but didn't wind up wanting because they didn't turn out as good as we thought, this game is drawing a lot of comparisons to the Mass Effect series. That's what all the comments are saying, and I can get that from watching it. And considering how the last couple installments of the Mass Effect series went, I could see this also being kind of the hope for carrying on that legacy that has been kind of frittered away, I guess, by BioWare and EA and so forth. This one, it looks like it's going to have a lot of the same kind of gameplay, a lot of the gunplay, a lot of the choices and so forth. If you're not familiar with The Expanse, it's a really good series. I think it was on HBO. I don't remember if it's on that or not. But definitely something to check out. If you like really good, hard, crunchy sci-fi, it's an excellent series. I really recommend it. And if you haven't seen it, I think the game is still going to do okay for you. It seems like it's going to have a good job of explaining the story, getting into, like I said, all those choices and so forth. And if you don't know, make bad decisions, let stuff happen, just like I always did in Mass Effect. That was my way of going Paragon for life, Renegade for life. Absolutely. So, all right. I mean, what do you think? Do you think this can satisfy people with that Mass Effect urge?
Yeah, looking at it, I definitely got those vibes. So I think there's potential that it could satisfy those like Mass Effect cravings that people have had for a while, unmet. And the show, I haven't seen The Expanse, but what you just said is what I always hear, is that it's, gritty sci-fi. People should watch it if you like that. And I like sci-fi, so it's definitely on my list. So maybe this is a game that a person like me, I can play the game and watch the show, and then you get, kind of immersed more in both worlds by having this multimedia kind of experience. But when you always have these kinds of games based on books or shows, I get worried. Maybe this one will turn out great, but I didn't see a lot of the gameplay here. For me, what was jumping out to me was more the story and the environment. So if those are well done and the characters are fleshed out, it could be a great RPG, like you're saying, that you experience this world, you go through whatever the story is, and it could be great.
Yeah, this is another one that's got a while to go to. Spring 2027 is when they say this is going to come out. Now, there's one other part of it, though, that is getting a little bit of commentary, and that is that they are going to use Gen AI, but they say only an iteration, only to speed up some processes. absolutely positively no way any art will slip through to the final release. There's no way that'll happen, I'm sure. Absolutely can't happen. It'll be impossible, I bet.
Impossible, yeah.
Oh, God. Crimson Desert, hello.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that game's doing a lot better than I thought. It's gotten some pretty good reviews now. The first day's jitters, I think, are they're getting through that for the most part. But
Good. Yeah, I didn't know that about the Gen AI being used for this game, but I mean, the industry is going this direction. Let's see how the final product turns out and then what people think about it. And if those things slip through in a way that people can notice it and tell, ooh, this is sloppy part. But like you're saying, maybe it's something that in early versions, you get a day one patch and it cleans up some things. I don't know. We'll just have to see. This is kind of a new world for game development.
Maybe by that spring 2027, it'll be they'll figure it out by then. Although there is you can get into a closed beta on April 22nd of this year, if you own one of their pre-order packs. So look into that if you're interested in giving this an early try, and let us know how it goes. But in the meantime, that is our show for today. So again, great to have you on, Akin-san. Glad you can make it. Hope to have you back soon, a little sooner than last time, hopefully.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, as usual. A lot of great games to check out. I'm looking forward to them. Some of these we're going to have to wait for a while, but let's see, what else we hear about these. And yeah, I'd love to do it again.
I'll get you back on in a year after all these launch. There we go. How about that?
Yeah, there we go. Pencil me in.
And everyone else out there, hope you enjoyed the show. Please give it a like and subscribe so you'll always know when a future episode is posted. You can find our socials on the screen right now if you'd like to check us out and some of our other activities. Before we head out, got one more trailer to show you. And this was really an easy choice for the final trailer where we just kind of let it stand for ourselves and don't talk about it afterwards. It's called Alien Deathstorm. It's got aliens. It's got death. It's got a storm. What else is there to say? That's all. So until next time, hope you all have a good rest of your week and stay safe and play hard.
Thanks, guys.
What the hell happened here? Where is everyone?
Warning. Adverse weather conditions detected. Wind speeds reaching survival threshold. Seek shelter.